How hard should you push if you want to get flexible? This is something that a lot of people don't know, and in my personal experience, I went way too hard in my early days and gave myself a lot of nasty injuries. In this video, I'm going to make sure that you don't make those same mistakes.
We are the gym that teaches people how to move instead of just exercise, because we believe that health is about performance, not just body image.
So how hard should you be stretching if you want to get flexible? This is something that a lot of people don't understand, and I certainly didn't. Now I want to level with you guys. I'm 43 years old at the time of recording this video. When I was 36, I can't remember exactly, I was about 36 or 37, I made the decision to become flexible. I wasn't flexible. And I was more flexible than the average person because I'd done martial arts for about 13 or 14 years, but I couldn't come close to doing the splits. And I just really, my body was starting to feel stiff and I was starting to feel older in my late 30s. And I made the decision. I said, you know what, I'm tired of this. I'm going to get flexible. And so I started stretching every day. And I had all these breakthrough moments over the next couple of years, and that's what these videos are about. There's 10 videos in this series. You really should watch them all. This is video number 6. But this big breakthrough was about how hard I should stretch. And I'm going to show you a story of my middle splits training. Hey, in case we haven't met, my name's Rad Burmeister. I'm one of the co-founders of Unity Gym and the co-creators of the Unified Movement System, or UMS, where we make driven people strong, flexible, and fit using calisthenics and weightlifting and modern-day flexibility methods. If you want to know more about how we get such amazing results with our tribe members, you can download one of the free blueprints, Flexibility Blueprint, Strength Blueprint, At-Home Workout Blueprints. We've got a whole bunch of them. They're free. You can get a link in the description of this video. Or if you want to grab one of our amazing programs for strength, flexibility, or fitness, or calisthenics skills, again, there's a link in the description here. And hey, if you're ready to dive in deep and start online coaching with me and my brother and my team, where you can get daily coaching from us and get access to our ultimate program, the Unified Movement System, there's an opportunity here for you to get a 30-day free trial and an amazing offer on the price of the subscription. Click the link in this video if you're ready to dive in. What I was doing at first, my first big goal with flexibility was the middle splits. It's something that I'd always wanted to be able to do since I was younger, and it was kind of like my benchmark for whether I was, it was like the first thing that I wanted to achieve with flexibility. And it took me about, from when I started doing middle splits training, like when I started this journey of saying I'm going to be flexible, I was about that far away from being able to do the middle splits. So I was definitely more flexible than the average person, but far off being a really flexible person. And over the first 6 months of stretching 5 days a week, like doing proper flexibility training, I got to about this far away. So I went from about here to about here in about 6 months, and I just couldn't get past that point. And so I started really pushing myself, and I got a lot of injuries along that journey. I would sort of take 2 steps forward and 1 step back, sometimes 3 steps forward and 2 steps back. So what do I mean by that? Well, I'd be stretching, and for whatever reason, I wouldn't be going as far as I was the day before or the week before, and I'd think to myself, I can go further than this. I'm going to push myself. And then I'd push myself, and during the workout, when you're all warmed up, you don't really feel that much. But the next day, I'd be so stiff and tight that I couldn't even get halfway where I was the day before. And what I didn't realize what I was doing is I was causing myself minor injuries, like micro tears in the muscles. And what happens is when you stretch, the mechanism of becoming more flexible is not that you make the muscles more elastic. The muscles are very elastic already. It's that you delay the brain's inhibitors when they kick in to tighten up the muscles and stop you going all the way. So what happens is, if I try and pull my arm up above my head like this, there's a point where my brain's inhibitors say, oh, that's enough. If we go further than that, we're going to cause an injury. So you look at this and you think, oh, my muscles are really tight. That's not really what's going on. What's going on is that it's a defense mechanism for the brain, and through the process of flexibility training, what we do is we delay when those inhibitors kick in. So maybe when you start, the inhibitors are kicking in here, and then 6 months later, now the inhibitors are kicking in here, and then another 6 months, so on and so forth, and you become more flexible. So I didn't realize that when I started my flexibility journey. That's another one of the big breakthroughs I had, and there's another video on that in this series. So what I was doing is, instead of delaying that process, I was reinforcing the process. So I'd go down to this full stretch, my brain's inhibitors would kick in, they'd stop me from going further, and then I'd try and force it, causing minor injuries, which reinforces the brain's fear. It reinforces your brain's fear of, well, this is a dangerous thing, we shouldn't go this far. So it starts kicking in the inhibitors even earlier. And that's why a lot of people, they'll feel like they're never getting anywhere because they're going forward and then all of a sudden they go backwards. So going back to the topic of this video, how hard should you stretch for best results? You want to stretch to the point of discomfort, but not to the point of pain. And I get asked the question all the time, how do you tell the difference between the point of pain and the point of discomfort? Well, that's something that, in my experience, you have to learn for yourself. Because pain is a subjective thing. It's not something that we can measure objectively from person to person. It's different. Like one person will say, this is a 3 out of 10 pain for me, while the next person will be saying this is an 8 out of 10 pain. The exact same force, the exact same load on the body. So it's a subjective thing. This is the best way I can describe it. You have to kind of go to the point of pain to know where it was. And when I had my big breakthrough, when I started to learn about this, what I would do is I'd be stretching and I'd feel good during the session. I'd feel like, okay, I think this is just the point of discomfort. I'm not really hurting. But then the next day or 2 days later, I'd be in pain and I wouldn't be able to go nearly as far with my flexibility. And sometimes, in worst case scenarios, I will have caused minor muscle tears that took between 2 and 6 weeks to heal. And then what you have to do in that moment is you have to spend some time to reflect, to really reflect, what was I feeling during that session? How did that feel to me? And what can I learn from that for the next time I feel that same feeling? And then the next big lesson is that when you're stretching, don't force it. Don't ever go to this point where you try and force. It's different with loaded stretching and end range strength. And again, we've got videos on that in this series. But generally speaking, for flexibility training, don't force it. Some days you'll go down and you just won't be able to go as far as you did yesterday, or the day before, or the week before, whenever it was. That's okay. Just do what is okay for you, what feels good, and what brings you to that point of discomfort, but not the point of pain. Take some practice, but once you get it right, you are going to see some massive improvements in your flexibility training. Leave a comment for me in this video. Let me know if you've had an experience like this and what you've learned. I'd really love to hear from you. Hey, thanks for watching that video. If you liked it, consider subscribing to our channel and make sure you click the notification bell so you know when our weekly videos are uploaded. Now, the best thing for you to do if you want to stay connected with us and get free online coaching is to join our private Facebook group. It's called the UMS Movement Mastermind, and we go live daily where we answer our members' questions. It's very interactive because you can post questions while we're live and we interact with you on the show. You can also upload videos or pictures of yourself with any movements, any stretches, strength training movements, calisthenics, weightlifting, anything that you're struggling with, and we'll critique you, give you feedback, let you know how you can get better. It's a really valuable resource. It allows a lot of communication with us and also our senior tribe members. You'll get answers very, very quickly, and it's absolutely free. So jump on Facebook, search for UMS Movement Mastermind and join now. Until next time, have a great day.